Hi everybody, it's Gigi again. Um, just wanted to talk some more about life as an older transgender person, woman. Um, when you're younger, your priorities are so much different. I mean, as you grow older, it's a world of difference. When you're young, you have so many priorities that really are mixed up. You want to make sure that you look great all the time. And a big thing for a lot of people is passing. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of transgendered people that pass in the beginning. Um, what seems to happen is that when you're younger and you're starting out, it's sort of like a teenage girl. I mean, you're into all the hip styles and that, and a lot of times they don't really fit the male body. Yes, you can contour and you can, you can get a lot of help and you can really look good, but it's something you never quite master and pass, especially 100% of the time. And when I was younger, that's all I cared about. Going to the clubs and looking great all the time, hoping I could pass somewhat. Never really did happen, but it really upset me then. It really did. And I was just so overly concerned about looks and that. Um, so I just went through, my younger days trying to trying to be a hot mama, which unfortunately never really materialized. Yeah, I had my good days. I had a lot of good days where I thought I looked really great in that, and it worked out okay. But in hindsight, it really didn't matter. But you don't know that as you're growing up. When you get older, like me, that's the last thing on your mind. Yes, you still want to look good as possible, and you don't really care about passing. You want to present yourself as a woman, but if you don't, if you're not fooling anybody, it doesn't really matter. And where you go, it's a world of difference too. The younger people, they go clubbing, they go to the bars. I mean, I still go occasionally, that's fun, but it's not my life like it was before. Before it was like, oh, go, 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 and hit all the clubs and that. Now, I'm just as happy, going to a play, going to a restaurant, um, even going to church. It's entirely different nowadays. And another big thing that I wanted to talk about was hormones. Um, I've been on and off hormones for years and years and years, and I thought that that was going to be the be all. And I took them, and I got development from them, and it felt really good. And then I realized I'm never gonna transition. It's never gonna be 100%. So I started reading more and more and more about it. And of course, it was all done under a doctor's care. And I realized I really don't want this. So I stopped and started up again and stopped and started up again. And this was taking testosterone blockers, and the estrogen kept increasing to the point where I was doing shots weekly. And I thought that that was going to be it, but it really wasn't. It never really satisfied me 100%. And even though at this stage of the game, I can't tell you I'm not going to do it again because there was a lot of benefits from it, especially mentally. But hormones, when you're younger, it's like, oh, I want them, I want them, I want them. And unfortunately, a lot of people, they get them from the wrong sources. They don't go to a doctor. They don't do the right thing with them. And you got to be very careful. You don't want to mess around, with your body like that. You make sure that you go to a doctor, somebody who knows what they're doing. And I did that, so I felt good about that. But that was a big thing. Hormones are just part of being a woman. And I felt like I wasn't a woman if I wasn't on them. And it did work for a while. But now, being much, much, much older, it doesn't matter to me anymore. I mean, I know I'm not fooling a lot of people. Oh, yeah. I can change my looks. I can wear an older style wig. I can, especially with the pandemic with the mask, it was great. I could pass that way and wearing a scarf and all kinds of things. And it didn't make me feel any better, but it was made me feel more comfortable because I was passing a lot easier that way. Except for my height, um, I felt fine. I mean, I know that a lot of people had no idea. And then when I was through it, whether it was at a play or a restaurant, and I left, I go, oh, that was really good. I felt like I did good that time. But when I was younger, I'd come home and I'd beat myself up saying, "Oh, you dummy! You had too much makeup on. Your skirt was too short." It's funny that it seems that when you start out younger people, it's like you're a teenage girl. I mean, I don't care if you're in your 20s or 30s. You dress like that, and it doesn't make much sense to do that because you look goofy. I mean, you have to wear clothing that fits you. Don't try to do the latest fashions on somebody that's 17, 18, or 19 when you're older. It doesn't work. And women don't do that. They dress accordingly. Now, don't get me wrong. When you're going out someplace, you want to look hot, but heck, there's a lot of great styles you can take and adapt to and look really, really good. And like I said, getting older, um, things fall into place. After a while, you realize your priorities change completely. It doesn't matter anymore about passing and looking great, and it just what matters is how you feel. That's the only thing that really matters. You have to be true to yourself, and that's what I'm doing now. And I waited a long time for it to finally kicked in, and things are really really going good for me. So when I think about it, looking back, I wouldn't trade those years for anything. I mean, it was what it was, and it was fun at the time. But now it's so much easier. I mean, just hell, I would never be caught dead with going out without a dress or skirt on. Now, jeans, tights, pants, it's fine. Doesn't matter. Do whatever makes you feel good. And of course, always be careful when you go out because anybody that's transgender, anybody that's a crossdresser, they know how dangerous it is out there for girls like us. There's too many crazies out there. So always be aware of your situation, your surroundings and that. And be careful. And if you go out with somebody, that's even better. But in the meantime, just be true to yourself. Have fun and don't worry about passing. And if you have questions with hormones, please talk to a doctor because they are right for a lot of people. But a lot of other people take them for the wrong reasons. They're not going to, it's not a thing that's going to snap all of a sudden. And, oh, I took a hormone, now I'm a woman. You'll figure out, what's good for you and what isn't. So, final thought is just have fun, be safe, and enjoy your life. Bye, everybody.